He's saying, and oh Allah, I would never offer my children and my wife and my slaves any dinner, which is the milk they used to have for dinner. I would not offer them until I offered my parents first. So that means he would feed his parents first, then his children and his slaves come second. And here we're learning that you must make a very clear message in your family that no one comes before your father and your mother. These are the most precious and dear people in your life. Nothing comes before them. He's saying, oh Allah, I didn't give anyone in my family anything before my parents. You see, I'll tell you something. You may love your wife and your children a lot more than your parents, but don't you dare show that to your parents. When you visit your parents, make it very clear that no one comes before them, even in these small things such as food and so on. First, make it clear and obvious. Listen to how he is going to now make it clear and obvious. And wallahi, you will be shocked to hear this. So he continues his dua. He says, oh Allah, one day I got caught up in search of grazing land for my livestock. So the brother, he had a farm, he had livestock, and he's taking him out to grazing land. His grazing land that's close to his house, there's no more grass. So he took them further away to where there is grazing land. And the livestock, the sheep and that takes some time. Once they finished grazing, he's coming back, and he's come back really late. He said, I came back, I milked the sheep, the camel, whatever it is that he's putting in the bowl of milk. He said, and I got home and my parents were fast asleep. He said, فحلبت لهما غبوقهما فوجدتهما نائمين فكرهت أن أوقظهما وأن أغبق قبلهما أهلا ولا مالا. He said, so I disliked to wake them up from their sleep. Why? Wake them up. Why? La la la. This is disrespect. He's worried if he woke them up that they might struggle to get back to sleep. And you know, the older a person gets, it becomes a lot difficult to fall into a deep sleep. When if you wake someone old up, khalas, he's up. He struggles to get back to sleep. Look at his honor of his parents. I don't want to touch them. But at the same time, he dislikes to feed any of his children or wife or slaves from this milk. He doesn't want to give anyone until he gives his parents, and he doesn't want to wake him up. Look at this. He says, وَالصِّبْيَةُ يَتَضَاغَوْنَ عِنَّ قَدَمَيْ. He had babies, young children. He said, and my young babies were on my feet crying. They're crying from hunger. You know, subhanallah, Allah put a fitrah in parents. The very moment a child cries and you know the cry is from hunger, you rush to do whatever you can to bring them food. It is very disturbing to the ear to hear a child cry from hunger and thirst. The parents lose their minds. They leave everything to source any type of food for them. Different to if the child was crying because his brother or sister hit him. That's different. You can carry that. You know, it's just annoying. But it's very worrying and scary when a child is crying from hunger. And the brother, he's standing with the bowl of milk, has the solution, it's with him. Give them something. La, nothing. No one comes before my parents. Allahu Akbar. He's making this in his dua. Tayyib. Okay. He said, I stood by their side carrying the bowl of milk. Tayyib akhi, sit down. La, I don't sit down. They're my parents. I'll stand. Like, put the bowl down, because carrying something, it's heavy throughout the night. Put it down. No, I don't want to put it down. I'm going to remain holding it. Like, do you have sleeves? Get one of your sleeves to carry it and stand. Want to go rest? No, these are my parents. I have the honor to stand. Allahu Akbar. He stands the whole night. His children crying at his feet. He's carrying the ball. He doesn't want to wake them up. What is this type of honor that he had for his parents? Indeed, this is a righteous deed. Any act of excellence and goodness to the parents, no matter how difficult and how much of a struggle it may be on the body, this is a righteous deed registered and recorded in Allah Azza wa Jal. It doesn't go unnoticed by Allah. Brothers and sisters in Islam, Qiyamul Layl is not just standing in Salat. Ibn Abbas radiallahu anhu said his mother once asked him for milk, for water. He said he came back and she was sleeping, and he stayed standing by her side until Al-Fajr, until she woke up. Some of the righteous of the past, they would say, I spent an entire night at my mother's feet serving her. And my brother spent his entire night standing in Salat. And I would not prefer his night over my night. My night is better than his night. Shuf. Birrul walidain. Righteousness, goodness, excellence to the parents. This is a grand, great deed that Allah Azza wa Jal encouraged and enjoined upon each and every single one of us. Finally, he says, my parents woke up at the rise of dawn, and I gave them their milk and they drank. Then he said, oh Allah, if I did this for your sake, seeking only your reward, and I didn't want anyone's appreciation. Look at his humility. He said, if you know that I have done this for you, never be arrogant about your righteous deed. Never ever be arrogant and believe that your righteous deed was sincere. Always need to be worried about sincerity and your righteous deed. He said, oh Allah, if you know I did this for your sake, he said, relieve us from what we are in. Grant us some relief. Allahu Akbar. Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, فَانْفَرَجَتْ شَيْئًا. Allahu Akbar. The boulder moved slightly. Subhanallah, it moved slightly. غَيْرَ أَنَّهُمْ لَا يَسْتَطِيعُونَ الْخُرُوجَ مِنْهَا. But they couldn't squeeze out. It was very tight, they couldn't walk out. And they saw the sky, as some narrations mention. They couldn't go anywhere. Allahu Akbar. You see the righteous deeds you do in the past, how they can be of benefit for you in the present. Never belittle a righteous deed you do. It may save you from a calamity one day. Like what Allah says about Yunus alayhi salam. Yunus was trapped in the belly of the whale. Allah says, فَلَوْلَا أَنَّهُ كَانَ مِنَ الْمُسَبِّحِينَ. Had Yunus alayhi salam not been from among the worshippers, لَلَبِثَ فِي بَطْنِهِ إِلَى يَوْمِ يُبْعَثُونَ. He would have remained in that calamity, trapped in the belly of the whale until the day of judgment. Your righteousness in the past helps you a lot in your present. We don't lose sight of this matter. The boulder moving slightly, this is exactly what it means when Allah says, إِنَّ مَعَ الْعُسْرِ يُسْرًا. Indeed, with difficulty there is ease. This is it. This is the ease at the time of difficulty. It moved a little bit, they can't squeeze out, but that's relief. We can see the sky.